Bowls, that he would put up 40 points a night and still lose.
Right.
So, and it wasn't until he got his Pippins and his Cartwrights that they started doing anything. Same thing here.
Right now, he got the Pistol Pete Mavericks syndrome, where Pistol Pete had no help.
Exactly. That's what it is. So, he's going to get his 35, 40, 50 a night. But until somebody else starts putting up 20, 25,
Well, this sounds a lot like the Saints.
Yeah.
The New Orleans trend.
Good point,
But
Steven.
I'll give him a little help. You got a little help. You got some good wide receivers that are coming through this year.
But I don't really blame it on the players. That's the ownership. That's the ownership and the people that's in charge of putting the team together.
And that's another great point, because this team, they knew they need some scoring. They knew that going into the season, we need someone else to come in and help Anthony Davis score. So they drafted the kid, but what else did they do to be able to put some scorers in position?
They traded away two of their good players. Actually, two of them Eric Gordon, they could have took him. But there was actually two players that were actually decent last year that did help and round out to make that way they were a little bit competitive last year that now play for the Rockets.
Well,
I think
they traded them off.
Coach Monty was dismissed, unfairly. And you read what so that was unfair how they dismissed Coach Monty like that.
You won't get many arguments to that case in this city, man. You will not hear many people arguing you on that. That's the sentiment in New Orleans right now.
Yeah.
And another thing was, this guy was coming out of Golden State, who had just won the championship. So, he went there and sold them some cookies that, just don't taste too hot right now.
But here's the difference. Yeah, they wanted Gentry because he was the architect of the offense for Golden State. But you have to have guys who can score. Right? And that's what gets me about these general managers or owners or whomever. I'm going to bring this guy in, and he's going to be an offensive guru, and we're going to have all these points, flash and dash and all this other stuff. But you don't have the pieces to be able to do what you need to do. That's like, say, fix me a gumbo, and all you gave me is red beans and rice. No filet, nothing, no roux.
Sounds right about that for me, Sharice. I think I'm play the red pizza right now.
You only got not, anyway. But it just doesn't make sense, guys. It just doesn't make sense how these guys approach putting together a team. All right, the Saints go into San Francisco on Sunday. Kaepernick will be starting at quarterback against the New Orleans Saints. Going out to California, sometimes we've had some nice games. Sometimes we had some what the heck happened games. Professor, how do you see this game wrapping out for the Saints?
This is once again a must-win game for the Saints because opportunity is now there for the Saints with Philadelphia, Green Bay, Detroit. All those teams are lost. So not only do they have opportunity to get closer to the Falcons, and you can see that this division is tightening up. Hopefully Tampa Bay wins on tomorrow night. But as well as the Saints getting into the wild card hunt, and it's against an NFC opponent, which counts if there should be a tie with the NFC record. So it's imperative that the Saints go out to San Francisco and play solid and not take the 49ers lightly. So I'm hoping that they can go out here, play a solid game. Hopefully we can, avoid turnovers. And this is a game that the Saints should absolutely win. They're a better team. They're playing better than the 49ers. The only concern I have is that the 49ers have lost about five. They've lost 5 in a row or 6 in a row. And usually teams that lose that many games, sooner or later, their break comes and they play a solid game. So this game should be a solid victory for the Saints, I'm hoping. I just see trapping. I can see where this game could be a trap game, but I'm just thinking that the Saints realize the momentum they got got, and with the defense playing really solid, and the way they're playing, because the defense guys has played, 18 out of 28 quarters, the defense has played pretty good. They held the Chiefs to 6 points in the second half. They held the Seahawks pretty down to 6 points in the second half. They held the Giants to 9 points. They held the Raiders in 3 quarters. The Carolina Panthers, like Remy stated, wouldn't have had all of their points. So I think we've underestimated how the defense, they may be giving up yardage, but they're playing pretty solid and holding people from scoring. And if we can get that same type of performance in the offense, let's just hope that it's not raining out there, because that's a rough field and that kind of thing. But I think Saints with this win can continue their momentum coming with that Denver game. But don't look past San Francisco at Denver, and let's just go out there and take care of business. And now you got a whole season now based off of 8 games, and you now have a lot of hope and a lot of momentum.
Okay.
I look for the Saints to win this game. I really do.
All right. Rim, any X factors for the Saints going into this game?
My only thing is what they need to do to win this game is, I told you a couple of years ago when San Francisco was actually a contender, that they were the most overrated team in the league to me. And it came to fruition because not long after that they started their decline to where they are now. And the reason that I felt that they were overrated was because that guy, Colin Pumpernickel, he was an overrated quarterback. All he could do was the option read, and to me, he wasn't a good pocket quarterback. So the X factor to me is contain him and force him to throw the ball when he's in the pocket. Forcing him to throw the ball, I think, is a very winnable game. You're not gonna win if he's running, but if we can contain Pumpernickel and make him have to throw his passes, they're definitely beatable.
All right, good point. Diva, any thoughts on what the Saints should kind of force their hand and be able to do against these guys in California?
I feel that I'm happy Delvin Bro's coming back.
Very good point. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I don't think Delvin's going to play in the game, though.
That's not what they were saying on the news tonight.
Yeah, I just read where he's practicing and had a great practice. I just read his something. Yeah, I just read his thing.
But I also read that Sean Payton said he was going to keep in mind that he is coming off this injury and he may not be available until the next game.
Oh, well, boo. They got our hopes up for nothing.
Well,
I'm not gonna say.
we never know.
I think it's a game where they can rest him because they're gonna need all hands on deck against Denver, so that's not a bad idea.
Right.
Right.
The Saints can come back against Denver because the Saints can beat San Francisco. So I wouldn't mind if they rest him.
Are we here?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say this. Like somebody else said earlier, I just hope for the sake is not that they're going into it looking past them and like, oh yeah, we can beat them or whatever. They take it they take it with the same grain of salt that they took Seattle, because there had been a few years there in the beginning with Brother Almighty at quarterback where we were the whooping boy on San Francisco. So it's sad that they have to be like, a dumpster fire for us to get our opportunity against them. But they are somewhat of a dumpster fire, and just don't look past them. Like, treat it one game at a time and play with the same kind of enthusiasm and up to the same level that they played in the Seahawks game. And I don't see why they can't walk away with a W.
Yeah.
Man, look, I don't care what year. To y'all, this is 2016. To me, it's still the late 80s, early 90s, where we had good teams, but we were in the division with San Francisco and couldn't make the playoffs too many times. I'm still mad about that. I say going to San Francisco, whip their butts up and down that field like it's 1989. And, listen, I don't don't care if it's Colin Kaepernick under that helmet. Treat it like it's Joe Montana and ring his bell. You know, treat him like it's Jerry Rice. You know, I want him to go out there and act like it's Roger Craig out there. You know, and get some revenge from back in those days, because I'm still upset about that. I'm still mad about that game where Jerry Rice took the ball, held it up as he was going into the end zone, fumbled it through the end zone, and they still gave him the touchdown after looking at the instant replay. Yes, I still remember it like it was yesterday. We should have gotten a touchback, but they gave them the touchdown, and that was the difference between us winning and losing that game, which we lost. I'm still mad about it. I want y'all to go back. Every time we beat San Francisco, to me, it's like getting revenge for those days. Go in there, go into Candlestick or whatever they call it in that old park y'all playing right now, and put it on them. Put it on them. Whoop them like they stole something. Whoop them like they're your daddy. Pull their pants down and put it on them. Give them a nice Bernie Mac style, beat them to the white meat whooping. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, professional, you said it very well, man. Look, Saints got to go in there and they got to win, man. Bottom line, no ifs, ands, or buts. The defense of the 49ers is ranked 30th. Saints are ranked 28th. But our team has been performing very well defensively as of late. These young guys don't really have, other than Torrey Smith and Hyde, to be able to worry about as far as the impact players that's on the offense for the 49ers at this time. It's a very winnable game, but like you said, Professor, it could be a trap game, and we got to be able to put a lot of pressure on their defense, control the ball like we did against the 49ers, and be able to push the ball down the field and take your shots whenever you have it.
Yeah, well, it might be a trap game, but meet me in the trap. It's going down.
No, it's going down. Yeah.
Going down. Meet me at the trap. Going down.
All right, guys. Let's see. Divas, let's start with you. How do you see the game wrapping out? What's the score?
Ooh. I just hope it's a somewhat sunny day. It's not too windy. Drew, licks his finger as before he throws, so we know which way is going into the wind, and everything's a perfect spiral. I'm gonna do another close one. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go with your 23-20.
Okay. All right, Rim.
First of all, DB, your little thing about licking the fingers, my mama hates that. She's like, ugh, get spitting all over the ball. Anyway, I'm
saying to touch the wind, because, when they go and play in Washington, he usually, it be looking a little, you have to worry about his outside play.
Oh, I thought you were talking about how he licks his fingers before the play.
No, I'm talking about test the wind so you know which way the wind is blowing as far as your throws.
Oh, okay.
It seems like when he get outside, you be a little anxious compared to indoor.
Here's my prediction: Saints lose 20-17. You don't like it, brothers? Prove me wrong.
All right, Professor.
I've been 0 for 4 picking the Saints tonight. They're picking up Saints game. I do agree. Sharita brings up a very great point. Drew does not look like the same quarterback when he plays outdoors. Because the Saints are only averaging 19 to 22 points when they play outdoors. Unless, there's some turnovers that the defense gets. The key to this game is going to be, the intangibles. Playing discipline, they did great with very few penalties against Seattle. We're going to need that same type of effort. We're going to need the same type of effort from Hightower, and we're going to need the same type of effort from the wide receivers and Drew and the defense, in terms of just playing solid. If the big play is not there, do like we did against Seattle. Let's take the 10, 8, 9 yards, play smart. Let's play smart because our offense is really going to put up the average of 29 points a game. This is not a Seattle Seahawks type defense or defense like San Francisco once had. So all of those variables and Coach Payton and Coach Carmichael